All right, Pisces. So your spiritual advice for the week is we have here the Six of Cups in the reverse. And the Six of Cups in the reverse is kind of looking at the reality of a situation rather than looking at it through your ideals of what it should be. Okay. I feel like this is usually indicative of putting somebody on a pedestal, looking at something through a lens of wishful thinking, and kind of telling yourself that it's not all that bad. And as your spiritual advice, it's really forcing you to, really take care of seeing the holistic picture, seeing the whole picture, seeing the bigger picture, and seeing how all the pieces have fit together. So, for example, what I have here at the center of the spread, we have the Temperance card, which indicates a state of emotional imbalance. Okay, I feel like someone has you really, really rattled up, and I feel as if, a lot of the times shine from conflict, okay? Not wanting to rock the boat, not wanting to create disharmony in a relationship by telling people how you really feel, by telling somebody that they could potentially be wrong. They could, look at a situation through a very biased lens. In the challenge position, we have here the Nine of Pentacles. This is a card about independence, being on your own, enjoying, alone time and enjoying your own company. I feel like for some of you, there might be a group of friends, a relationship partner, or something that you're investing a lot of time in, mainly because you want that emotional connection, when in fact the emotional connection has proven to be a little bit tenuous. In your past position, I have a fire sign here, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. This is the energy of somebody who kind of wants to be heard, okay? They want to be center stage. They want all eyes focused on them. They're very opinionated to the point where they might impose their beliefs and their opinions on the way you live your life. And I feel like as a fire sign, which is in opposition to you as a water sign, this is someone who might be a little bit confrontational, combative. I usually think of this as like, in-laws, somebody who's meddling in your affairs, or either an authority figure, a boss, or somebody who's overstepping their boundaries and being a little bit difficult. Crowning this reading, we have here the Five of Swords. This is a card overall about conflict where nobody wins, arguing about topics that don't really serve its purpose to in your present situation. Arguing about philosophies, ideals, ideologies, ways of doing things, where everyone has their own way of doing things. So one person imposing their beliefs on another, it just doesn't really make sense, nor is it conducive to, the other person getting anything done. And I feel like you are very, very conflict avoidant for this week, and you are trying your best to avoid rocking the boat. You're trying your best to avoid certain people that has you very emotionally destabilized. In the foundation, we have here the Nine of Swords. This is sort of like, I'm not going to invest my time and energy arguing over it, beating a dead horse. I'm just going to try to move away from it and not put myself in a state where I'm feeling anxious, where I'm feeling like I'm confronting a major battle and it doesn't really serve its purpose in my life. Moving forward in the future position, we have here the Two of Wands. This is sort of like in the upright position, waiting for things to happen, waiting for life to start, but not really taking the first step. In the reverse position, I feel like you are definitely turning your back on this person in this situation from the past that has you very emotionally rattled and riled up. And I feel in a way they are confrontational. And I feel there's an element about, trying to distance yourself from people who kind of chip away at your self-esteem, people who are not letting you be independent and who are not letting you be the person that you want to be. They have like a lot to say. But I feel like whatever they say, you don't confront them, but you do want to turn your back and kind of leave them in your past, okay? So once again, falling outs between people, external to your environment, somebody is going to try to come back into the picture, push your buttons, try to tell you, my way is the best way, trying to egg you on, trying to I want to say like re-engage with you in some type of a conflict. And I feel like it has a lot more to do with control issues from their end. And I literally hear somebody telling you, oh, you're not going to walk away from me. You're not going to walk away when we're not done having this argument just yet. And in your hopes and fears, we have here the King of Pentacles in the reverse. I feel like you might be financially bound up with another person, and you might be very dependent on them, I feel, for financial assistance, or, you know, if your finances are linked together, you're afraid of rocking the boat because you don't want it to affect your financial standing. So I feel greatly this could be in the work environment. This can also be a romantic partner that you are heavily, you know, that you share assets with, that you are financially linked up with. And also, in a way, with this Nine of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, it's somebody that is, you know, in their positive manifestation, they can be quite reliable. They get things done. And I feel like they have certain qualities that you admire, but it's when they become jealous and possessive, and even when they're not able to take care of themselves and take care of the relationship, or treat you in a way where they see the value in you, it can be very difficult to harmonize with that person. In your outcome position, we have you kind of stealing up. This is like not revealing your feelings, not revealing your motives, and not revealing more of what you have to say so that you can maintain the status quo. The energy that you embody as the Queen of Swords, this is kind of like holding back a little bit, communicating in a way where I have a specific question, so I'm just going to ask those questions. We're not going to deviate or meander into other areas. I feel like you've been dealing with somebody who holds a lot of control and sway, and is like an authority figure over you. And so it's really hard. It's hard to not be intimidated by this person. It's hard to communicate with them as well. And they're not like a soft, cuddly, understanding type of a person. They have their fixed views, and it's really hard for them to kind of change their mind. So the energy for this week, I feel like if it's a love relationship partner, they're really telling you, you know, with the Six of Cups in the reverse, we can't really have a discussion unless we establish that baseline, okay? So they're coming from a different worldview. You're coming from a different perspective. And if your histories don't coincide, then you have a different starting point. So the way in which you look at situations are going to be very different. The way they look at the situation will be very different from the way you're looking at things. So we're not trying to harmonize. We're trying to get our point across, and we have to do so in more of a, you know, let's not shy away from conflict type of a situation. I feel as if there is misunderstanding, and a lot of it has to do from different perspectives. And I also feel someone is saying as well, Pisces, you know, get things done, be proactive, and get things together so that you can move on in a faster manner, in a more expedient manner. And then I'm also sensing there's some criticism coming through from another person. And I feel like you're shying away from that conflict, when in fact, talking about things and, you know, telling the other person, why don't you hush and let me just get my thoughts out there. And then once I get all of my thoughts out there, then you can tell me what you think. Don't interrupt me. I feel this energy of interrupting. Someone is sort of coming into the picture and telling you the best way to do things. And once again, it's not appropriate for your situation. In terms of love and romance and relationship, in the challenge position, we have the Nine of Pentacles. So I feel like a lot of you are coming into this week single, trying to take care of business, trying to get your life together, trying to hold on to your financial resources, and trying to build up a lot of wealth for yourself. And you're at a point where I feel like your self-esteem is not functioning at its best because you feel like you don't have that solid foundation. You feel like you might have trouble taking care of, you know, your own emotional needs, your own financial needs. So I feel like the finances would be the major focus. I'm also sensing as well There might be children in the picture that's interfering with new relationships from really taking off, and you're trying to prioritize home life, financial stability, taking care of children, making sure all of your physical and immediate needs are met before you can invite another person into the picture. And for those of you who are dealing in particular with another person, I'm seeing a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. And then I'm seeing an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or a Libra, sun, moon, or rising. And I feel that you're leaving somebody behind and you're trying to establish a connection with a new person. But the new person, they're not, completely understanding. They have their very fixed worldviews and they have, solutions to things. So if this is somebody that you're dealing with, I almost feel like they're giving you some type of an ultimatum. There might be some emotional walls resurrected between you and this air sign. And so no one is really communicating in a way where it's conducive to problem solving. Okay. My advice overall is, try to voice your opinion. Don't shy away from conflict. The things that we run away from very often in life, if we run away from it the first time, it's going to circle back around. It might come in a different situation, in a different environment, in a different person, but the energy seems very, very similar. So if this is something that you've shied away from in the past, I do see it having the potential to come back around. So this is a month for you to kind of plant your foot firmly in the ground and kind of stand up for yourself and stand up and defend the things that you believe in. Okay. Don't shy away from conflict. I see a lot of conflict avoidance. And I also feel like you're turning your back without giving proper explanation as to why you're doing so, okay? So someone is definitely being left behind in your past and you're moving on ahead, trying to explore other options, even career options as well. But you're at a point where you are still quite fearful about, the potential of succeeding. So I feel like confronting your fears, facing your fears head on is going to make you feel a lot stronger than you are. So don't shy away from conflict. Don't shy away from needing to say what you need to say.